Welcome, I'm Bernice Ross, and thank you for attending our session on the PQ factor, Stop Resisting, Start Persisting. This is my new book that will be out in May of 2017, and we're delighted to have you here today to share with us. So I want to begin by, one of the things that happens to us is we get pulled off of focus or we're having kind of a low energy day. So would you like something to get your energy up just like that?
Yes.
Okay, so what I want you to do is I'd like you to stand up. And I want you to look up the ceiling. I want you to wave your hands. And you'll probably notice that there is a smile on your face. Now, you can sit down. But what happens is there's something called neurolinguistic programming. And the idea is that different feelings get anchored in your body. So if when you were a baby, unless your mother was Mommy Dearest and was some horrible person, but when you raised your hands up, your mother would pick you up. And you have that feeling anchored in your body as a good feeling. And when my team scores, what do, gentlemen? Hands are up, ladies. Hands are up like this. And how many dance moves do we have that are like this? So this position is an anchor for positive feelings. So say you're having a bad day, at work or wherever you are, you need to, and you're going out on an important appointment. Well, one of the things you can do, if you can't have some privacy, you can always go into the restroom and wave your hands like this, but people might think you've got something going on weird. So, but in any event, so what we're going to be covering today, my book has something called the Persist Model, the seven steps of persistence, and it focuses on improving your business, but more importantly, your life. So what we're going to be talking about today are the things that will lead to peak performance in your business that are really tied to lifestyle choices and getting in action. Second, what traps us is we get stuck in short-term behaviors. To me, it's it's like having the second dessert this afternoon, which I did before I walked in here. Anybody on a diet? Okay. But you have to resist sometimes the short-term behaviors to engage in the long-term behaviors that result in the really great outcomes. We're also going to talk about how to become rejection-proof, huge for people who are in any type of sales, how to conquer procrastination in one easy step. Also, how to eliminate struggle. Anybody here struggle with stuff? I don't know about you. I think we all do. And increase your emotional resilience. And we're going to do a little bit of a dive into some things that are difficult sometimes. But we're going to kind of give you some ways to navigate through those things. Now, before I began writing my book, we went to have Chinese food, and I got this fortune cookie, and the fortune cookie said it's easier to resist at the beginning than at the end. And this is resisting the short-term decisions like surfing Facebook or spending your time doing things that are not productive, as opposed to staying on focus for my business and my personal goals. So the idea here is to resist the easy decisions in the beginning to persist in achieving what matters most to you. Now, who's been on a diet in here? Anybody? Yeah. Okay. Now, for me, I cannot leave these things alone, these avocado potato chips. I'd bring a bag of them home, and they're gone in about 24 to 36 hours. It's about how long it takes them to disappear. Now, so the way that I can control this behavior is to substitute a different behavior that I'm already doing. So almost every one of you, when you go grocery shopping, do you walk down every aisle? No, you don't. So one of the behaviors that would support me to not stuff my face full of potato chips is to stay out of that aisle. So I just avoid that aisle, and then it's not a problem. Because when they're in my pantry, they are in my mouth. So now, I want to go on to talk about something that's really surprising, because when I saw this quote from Albert Einstein, the only real valuable thing is intuition. Einstein is considered to be the most important thinker of the 21st century. Why would he have said the only real valuable thing is intuition? Well, it's his intuition that allowed him to come up with the theory of relativity, because it wasn't based upon the facts. And what we know about from psychology is that so many times our head overrules the rest of our system that is sending us lots of signals. My brain, my cerebral cortex, can only process 6 or 8 pieces of information, kind of at a time. if you look at a license plate, you can remember about 7 numbers, so it's really limited in terms of what it can process. But I've got millions and millions of pieces of data being processed by the rest of my body. And what the research shows is that there are actually memories in your heart and there are memories in your gut that don't have words, but they're still there. And let me give you an example. I taught psychology for many years, and I was also selling real estate full-time, so it's like I had a little work-life balance thing going on. You go teach my classes in the morning, go sell real estate in the afternoon, go teach a class at night. So I had a very bad cold. I was wrapping up at 10 p.m., and this guy comes and knocks on my door to my office just as I'm getting ready to go. And he starts asking me questions about the classes I'm teaching. He's dressed nicely, seems a nice enough guy. But I had a bad cold, and I had my left hand out like this the entire time. I've got a really bad cold. And he kept persisting. He wouldn't, kind of just, and I had my hand out the entire time. And I was just like, I don't feel good. Please see me during my regular office hours. And my department chairman walked in, and his office was next door to mine. I said, please excuse me, I need to check with Dr. Wren on something. And, and I went in my colleague's office, kind of just got away from the guy. So I'm telling Byron about this the next morning, and he says, I want you to go report this to the campus police. I said, honey, you've got to be kidding. I mean, this is kind of stupid. I want you to go report it to the campus police. So I wrap up my classes for the morning. I walk over to the campus police, and I'm sitting talking to one of the officers there. And he says, what was the guy's name? And I gave it to him. He says, yeah, we know this guy. We've had a problem with him on other campuses. I've been a detective for the Los Angeles Police Department for 30 years. And this guy has been accused of assault and rape. And you are going to have a police escort to and from your car in the morning and when you leave campus. I don't want you to go anywhere on campus by yourself. Now, how did Byron pick up on that? There was something in my voice. My body was telling me, my gut was telling me, my right brain, which for most of us is emotion, my right brain was telling me there was something wrong here. But I let this override it. So what I want you to do is I want to talk to you today about how do you get all that synced up together in a way that's going to let your performance be improved.